What's up?
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special episode of PandaWatch, so I thought I'd put on some special music. That was, of course, Keenan Thompson as DeAndre Cole doing What Up With That. That is a PandaWatch favorite. And as always, I'm Steven Zebrick with...
It's your boy, Kev Ma. Yo, shout out to you, dude. That really caught me off guard. I was like, yo, the PandaWatch get new music?
Yeah, so, yeah, that's when I was queuing it up, there was an ad before the thing, so I had to, play it off.
Well done, dude. We're here again, and we're off to a great start because that just brought the energy level all the way up.
And we're also off to a great start because the juice is loose.
Gosh, literally, people, I know you're on your commute or you're at home, just a day later, but, the world stopped today, and I think it stopped in Reno or wherever in Nevada his parole hearing was.
Lovelock,
Nevada. Shout out to you guys, the center of the world for about an hour and a half as O.J. Simpson pleaded his case for parole.
Did you watch? Because I watched at work. A little bit, not the whole thing.
I did not watch the whole thing, but I watched probably 15 minutes of it as I was in the barbershop getting a haircut.
Of course. I mean, Cedric the Entertainer said that was the Black Man's Country Club, right?
Yeah, except for it's an all-white barbershop, man. But shout out to Darvin, yo. He's nice on the sticks. And if you can get a straight line on this hairline, you've got a guest or a client for life. So yeah, we watched it. We watched it on Fox News. So it was very, very fair and balanced. It was very good. Because they couldn't do anything. But the
was the Fox News byline O.J. Simpson accused of killing 2 white people?
No, but the headlines were dope because it was O.J. Simpson lives a conflict in quotation says he lives a conflict-free life. And
we were watching. At first, it was on BBC, and some of my other coworkers I don't really talk to were watching it, and I finally said, "Look, guys, go to ESPN. They got it. Don't worry." And then we started getting some great bylines, stuff like that. It says he mediated conflicts in prison and things like that.
Dude, the juice. First and foremost, people. We know that America and the penal system has been crooked for a long time. So, and if it hasn't been crooked, everybody else who's supposed to have got off is innocent. So if we're going to live under that assumption, O.J. Simpson from the first infamous trial is a free man. So we should just let that go. Now,
right. To piggyback off what you just said, one of the committee that were asking questions was 2 men, 2 women. One of the women brought that up. She said, we received a lot of letters in support and we received many in opposition. And many in opposition mentioned the 1994 crimes or, in the 96 acquittal. But just to let them know, we're not considering that. And it makes sense. I mean, that's the legal system. That's how you have to play it. You can't factor in he got acquitted in the criminal trial. Obviously, the civil lawsuit's something different, but he was acquitted, so you can't bring that into factor.
Now, we really, as a nation, we really want to bring it in.
Oh, of course.
It'd be really interesting to see if you could get a census of the demographics of the people writing the fors and nays, because those letters would be really black and white, literally like a fucking panda.
Yeah.
Because every letter that came in on behalf of OJ was hey, I don't want to see that black man in jail no more. And every letter plus a couple letters from the other side were like, keep him in jail. Keep him in jail. You cannot do that.
Well, it's funny. Like, there's also another one. They're like, there's some great fucking. He's a smooth talker because every time they're like, "Yo, did you take this course in prison that we advised you? Like, it's an anti-violence course." He's like, "Well, I'm not violent, so I didn't really take that course." But he was like, he was just flat out like, whatever course they brought up, he found a way to talk himself out of not needing to take that course.
And was still granted parole, dude. Like,
still granted parole, and he'll be out midway through football season, so he can be in a Bills game.
Oh my gosh! Do you think that the Buffalo Bills welcome him back with open arms?
I don't know, man. The way those fans tailgate, who the hell knows what this?
Dude, they are the group that could be the ones that extends the olive branch to OJ.
And they won't be the only group.
I mean, they eating ass in their tailgates. Or is that the Lions? That was the Lions. Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta talk to March about that.
Yeah. What was happening in Buffalo? Like somebody was like, either somebody was doing like the pterodactyl
tables all the time.
Say that again.
They slam each other through tables all the time.
Okay, that's fair. That's what y'all white dudes do. Y'all get drunk and then want to touch each other and like grab each other and stuff like that.
Yeah, man, we're just like two dudes at a barbecue.
like you guys like each other.
Yeah, I like you too, dog. But yeah, I mean, let's just like, that thing is insane. Have you ever watched the parole hearing before? Because I haven't, unless it's Morgan Freeman in Shawshank, when he's like, just go on and stamp your papers, sonny boy. And it's funny because we had coworkers being like, so does he get out today? I was like, no, it's not like Shawshank.
Does he get out today?
Open the door.
Yeah, like, we didn't.
All the shit you need to do to get out of prison.
They didn't edit. They didn't edit down the real parole footage down to the movie clips yet.
Right.
So he's still got a little bit of time. I have not watched a parole hearing, but what I will say is, I have seen O.J. Simpson win 2 out of 3 court cases in America, live on TV.
Well, technically, can we say he really won this one? Because he did go to jail for 9 years.
Well, yeah, but he could have been denied parole, though.
Sorry, the crime was committed in 2007. I think he went to jail in 2008.
Yeah.
But yeah, he went to jail for 9 years.
He went to jail for 9 years. He could have been, he was sentenced to 33 years, by the way.
Right.
Which some people are saying when it happened, when the sentencing went down, it was kind of like, I guess nobody did forget about my acquittal in 1996 or 94. Yeah. Because, I mean, kidnapping is never good. And nobody, like, people should be accountable for their actions. O.J. Simpson was a part of what was deemed kidnapping and armed robbery, even though he didn't hold the gun. And they gave him.
He went as far as saying he didn't even know the gun was there until after.
Yeah. You kind of gave that up, OJ, when you said, don't let anybody leave this room. But yeah, OJ Simpson, the juice is loose. RIP to Charlie Murphy, because he would have, if he was on Twitter, he would have been like, I mean, that's OJ Simpson, man. I remember the first thing I said, wow, he's got a big fucking head, man.
Yeah.
But here's the real question. When OJ is leaving, like, are the guards gonna still? Who are they gonna make fun of now? I don't know if you read that story, but
I read part of that. I gotta give props to the guards. So they weren't just making fun of him about the murder case. They were calling him Nordberg,
which is that's deep reference.
Yeah, for Leslie Nielsen fans, you'll get it right away as his naked gun character. But that's a nice pull for I mean, then again, prison guards are probably either outraged or older, so they definitely know about Naked Gun. But still, I mean, that's some solid trolling right there. Like, just call the dude Nordberg the entire time.
I mean, dude. All right, here's a real question. If you're OJ Simpson,
Yes.
How do you can't drink alcohol because that violates your parole. But do you throw a party that is like orange juice themed?
Yeah, you definitely do.
Like
I
you're
mean, you
moving to
got
Florida and they're known for their like Tropicana oranges or whatever the name of the oranges are. Valencia. I know that's one. You just throw like the biggest bash in the world, and it's just all orange juice, everything. OJ the Juice Man is there. You got nothing but mimosas and screwdrivers, and it's like breakfast. It's like a brunch party. I would love to be
right.
invited to it.
It'd be funny if because so he can't drink as part of his parole. I must have missed that.
Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, just have everyone get drunk, and
yeah.
then you just hang out.
But we just drink nothing but orange juice. Like you can't have any drink. Like you want to drink dark liquor, orange juice got to go in there. You want chaser, it's got to be orange juice.
Well, that was you when you did Lent a couple years ago.
Yeah, man. I mean, those are minor details, but like, but let me just tell you, cranberry juice and whiskey, they don't taste too good together.
It's disgusting. Yeah.
It wasn't that bad. Calm down. But yeah, dude, OJ Simpson, like, he had the world like pause for an hour and a half today. The first time when he was on trial, 53 million people were watching.
Yeah, I remember. So I don't think you were there that year. You were there the next year. But I remember in sixth grade, we were on that student government retreat, and we were all watching and like the fucking retreat. We were like sitting in like and like had like some small TV going that we were all watching. Like this whole student government retreat. I can't remember if you were there or not. I know you were there one of the years, but
I was there 7th grade year.
Right. I think we were watching the 6th grade year. So
Nice.
yeah, it was nuts. It's absolutely nuts. I mean, yeah, the whole world tuned in, and they spoofed it on Cable Guy. That great
Yes,
movie. Yeah,
they did.
but
Oh,
no, I mean, and part of it is, and like I alluded to earlier, it's his charm. He's there's a reason he became like a movie and TV star after his football career.
you're gonna have to explain to me what is so charming about OJ Simpson.
Well, I mean, I don't know, but I'm saying there's a reason the dude was in the limelight for so long after football.
Well, I mean, you made it seem like I know you haven't interacted with him personally, so he hasn't had a chance to like wine and dine you. So I don't think
Yeah.
I'm just saying like today I watched him try to like he was defending himself, and it was almost like OJ, you should stop talking right now because you're gonna talk your way out of parole.
Well, he almost did a few times. He said, "I'm a straight shooter." Obviously, he never used the gun, but you did kill two people. So you
I know. Yeah, yeah.
And then he said, "No one ever accused me of pulling a weapon on them." I was like, "Yeah, no one alive probably ever could accuse you of pulling a weapon on them." But like he came
Let it
clean to
go,
his
white
own.
man. OJ is free. Let it go, white guy.
No, it's not. See, okay. I guess I get that, but to me, it's nothing about his race. It's the fact that he like all the evidence was against him, and
All
because
of it.
some dumbass thought like, hey, let's have him try on a glove that is soaked and cracked and shrank in blood, it would never fit him. And plus, over like another like layer of well, this is DNA's in there. Like, it was ridiculous. But and it's ridiculous because I mean, all of his close friends, all of his friends that were friends with him and Nicole, they don't talk to him anymore because they know that motherfucker did it. Like, if all of your friends know you did it, then something.
Then they all just don't like me. That's all that is.
Right.
Again,
if I don't like someone, I try to accuse them of murder.
Listen, if OJ, you don't think OJ Simpson was like mad, distraught about his wife being murdered? If anybody was going to feel the pain, it would be the husband.
I mean, I guess he felt the pain when he was stabbing her. I don't know. Like,
Oh man, that is just a damn shame. Now listen, I haven't watched any of the documentaries. I haven't done any follow-up information from the results. All I know is that verdict, when it came out, it said what, Steven?
not guilty.
Leave that nigga alone, okay? Free OJ. Free him.
Yeah, I know. I know you can benefit from free OJ the way you spend money on OJ in every diner you go to. But
Yeah. I love OJ, man. Dude, I was at shameless name plug. I was at Bob and Edith's in Arlington, Virginia at a respectable time of day. And
yeah,
the orange juice was like a large orange juice, and it was like a full drink. And I was telling the waitress, I was like, this is like 5 times the size of orange juice, a large in New York, and $2 cheaper. And she was like, I've been to New York, and I said, the next time you go, just order orange juice and see how upset you'll be.
man, that was a riveting story.
Shut the hell up. The story was great. She was so like impressed that I had been to New York and drank orange juice.
Man, yeah. So sounds spectacular.
Yes.
I don't think she just got acquitted from R. Kelly's house, or just left R. Kelly's house.
Oh man, that's a transition if I've ever seen one, people.
Yeah, I'm trying to get better at them.
I don't think
I'm pretty bad at them.
Yeah. I don't think she would have been able to talk for herself if she had came from R. Kelly's place.
Yeah, for those of you who aren't aware of what we're talking about, R. Kelly has been accused of and pretty much confirmed by BuzzFeed that he hosts like a slew of young women. Now these women are all above the age of consent, but they're all like anywhere from 16 to 20. And R. Kelly is 50, and he's having them in his house as like future artists, and he pretty much manipulates them and coerces them into having sex with him. Not just that, but he films it and then like shares it with his friends.
Damn, you read that whole thing?
I mean, I read that part. That was like, that's game set match right there.
I mean, it doesn't look good for R. Kelly. I mean, I can't defend him in any way. I'm just gonna say, like, I've never understood. This is what fascinates me about human beings. You have everything you need to complete the objective that you're trying to get, which is like obviously have sex with the youngest women possible. And by women, it's like they're barely women because they're above the legal age of consent, which in some states is under 18, which in America is when we say that human beings are adults.
Right.
I don't know if that's universal, but in this country where he's a citizen, 18 is the number in besides certain states. R. Kelly, my guy, why not just wait until they're like 18 and just do whatever you need to do?
Yeah, and that alludes to another point. And I'm paraphrasing, but it's a common term among sexual predators. It's not the act of sex that they get off on; it's the control and the power and the domination that comes with it. So,
hey, my man, are you a part of the committee?
What what committee?
It sounds like you are a member of this this club of people who sexual predators. Is that what we're calling them?
Yeah, that's what I am. I'm a member of that committee.
Yeah. I mean, you sound like you own the team, my brother.
Nah, man, I just hang out with Chris Hansen a lot, and I learn a lot from him.
Have a seat.
Have a seat. Uh, but that's what it is. And to him, like, he is attracted to these extremely young females, where apparently one of them said like that he makes all the girls wear tracksuits to hide their figures. And then
Tracksuits.
I,
If
it's
the
R.
girl,
Kelly.
how about
What?
this? How about this? R. Kelly is a black male, and whether it's stereotypical or the truth, most men who are of African American descent love a rumper. That is a fat butt. That is a bubble. That is an onion. That is a wagon. All kinds of adjectives to describe a firm backside. It don't.
I'll agree with you because I think that's something I not inherited, but since we're brothers,
Yep.
it's something that like we share in common. Like it'd be fucking weird to like hook up with an ironing board, like what's
Yeah.
up with that?
Yeah. Not appealing at all. And you are one of the few white dudes who are on that side of the train tracks. But hey, man, welcome. It doesn't matter if she's in a tracksuit, R. Kelly. You're gonna be able to see that fatty. So, like, what are you trying to? What do you like? That is definitely control type stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
But
so I'm trying to tell him that's Roscoe peeing in the bed.
But look, it looks like Art. I mean, I hate to be devil's advocate here, but it looks like R. Kelly has learned his lesson.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing about it. He's not doing anything
illegal.
Illegal.
He's just doing something.
Like one of the girls described it as Stockholm syndrome. Like he's just manipulating them and convincing them they need to stay. And since they're so young, I mean, think about how stupid we were at 18 or 17.
Were?
Like, but I'm just saying how much dumber we were back then.
Still dumb, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not dumb. I'm not dumb enough at 18 to have sex with R. Kelly, though.
Well, yeah.
Is that how dumb you were?
No.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
But apparently, he would use these girls like trying to get a music career, and then like hoodwink them in that way. Because that like, one of the parents was like, "We met R. Kelly backstage. I've always been a fan of his. I just didn't know he could do that." I was like, "Well, if you've always been a fan of his, do you not remember age is not a number? Do you not remember him marrying Aaliyah when she was like 13? Like
14. Come on, man. Yeah. I mean, here, let me put some people on to PandaWatch. Thank y'all for listening. We're like one of the dopest podcasts out there, but we ain't discovered yet. I never like R&B music. To me is, I understand its place in the musical world. I personally don't find it soothing unless I'm like, say it again.
I agree. Sorry.
Unless
can you turn off that music? I kind of want to.
I want to hear you breathing. But again, the music for that situation, it helps. But like it's 2017, and are you really? I mean, I'm a bachelor again, so I guess I'm like entertaining and whining and dining, but we're not doing any of that. So there's no R&B music. So I like R. Kelly, like Keys to Ignition or Remix to Ignition is my shit. But like Bump and Grind or all his other hits, it's kind of like, oh, I get it. But I wasn't his target audience. So I never was a big R. Kelly like fan. Can't deny his hits. Definitely has used his music to my advantage. Shout out to Bridgewater College.
World's Greatest is an amazing song, and I can't.
well, that is. I forgot that. See, this is the thing. That's the R. Kelly that confuses the hell out of people, right? They're like, how can this man make "I Believe I Can Fly"? You're the world's greatest, yet have sex with 16-year-old girls.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I mean, it's something I'll never understand, and that's something that I think psychologists and people trained in that field will never understand.
Nope. We're just gonna have to wait for the aliens to come down and make sense of all of this for us.
at least R. Kelly isn't giving any of these girls herpes.
Yikes! Now
Yeah,
this one, this is a doobie, and I don't mean the brothers from the '70s.
mentor Ursher apparently is
Ursher, baby.
involved. What, sorry?
Ursher,
Ursher?
baby.
Um, has apparently been involved in a lawsuit for convincing a woman have an STD, therefore having unprotected sex with her, then just giving her herpes just immediately. I'm not too well versed in the details of the case, but anytime someone sues you for giving them an STD, it cannot.
Yeah. You still here?
Yep.
Cool. All right. I didn't read too much of this thing because A, like you said, it's his private information, and B, it's like, how much information do I need to know about these human beings that I've never met before and probably am never going to meet?
Right. I mean, I'm with you on that.
Usher, though, again, human beings. I love them so much. Yes, we have all fallen into that sweet, sweet vaginal canal without the latex. And if you haven't, good, because safe sex is the best. So definitely wear condom if you're
Thanks,
having
Ben
sex.
Carson.
If you're having sex with multiple people, even if you're just having sex with one person that you don't know, wear a condom, man. Jesus and religions won't love it, but we're going to figure it out. But Usher, you made on that album, you sold 8 to 10 million copies, I believe, something stupid. So you probably made, let's call it a net of $20 million. You are playing with house money right now because women throw themselves at R&B singers. You have waves, you can sing, you got money, you got everything that women want. Why have sex with no rubber on, my man? When you know, I'm assuming that you have herpes, if allegedly you have herpes. But like you said,
Yeah.
the legal documents are saying, look, motherfucker, my client came back, she tested positive, she's saying it ain't from nobody else but you. Once it becomes like in the legal ledger, then Usher, man, we got to believe it.
Yeah, I mean, it just circles back to the R. Kelly conversation we're having. Like, why are you doing this when you can just? It would be literally a layup for you with any other circumstance.
Dude, human beings, man.
Yeah,
We
the human psyche is something that we'll never figure out.
never. So, there were so many let it burn jokes going and all that good stuff. That's like low hanging fruit though. Like, can you think of any, I guess, sexually transmitted disease jokes that tie into
I mean,
I got one. Little John and Ludacris, they were like, see, I told you that nigga had herpes. And Little John's like, yeah.
that's not good. I was
Come
thinking,
on, man.
of this girl is on fire.
Shout out to Alicia Keys. I'm sure she really enjoys being mentioned on PandaWatch and in the herpes section of PandaWatch.
I don't get always this picture Eddie Arcadian yelling, fire!
Dude, when we're done with this recording, I'm gonna tell you about something that I'm cooking up for Meet the Curator with Eddie Arcadian.
All right. Oh, speaking of Meet the Curator, if you guys haven't yet, go to meetthecurator.co and buy some shit.
Yeah, please buy some. Meet the Curator is sponsoring PandaWatch now, right?
Oh yes, we have a sponsor.
We have a real sponsor, yo. Meetthecurator.co.
I expect the 50-cent royalty check in the
yeah. Well, it's going it's gonna be in my name. So
trying to curate them royalties, you know.
But yeah.
And once again, like we said, this is all a bunch of questionable activity by what should be sound men who have. It's not even the fact that they have to make these decisions by themselves. Like they probably have a bunch of people advising them on day-to-day life. And not one of them had said, "Hey, Ursher, why don't you let that herpes subside before you just start banging chicks again?" Like,
or Usher, you know that flare up that you just had? We're gonna have to cool it out until it doesn't flare up anymore.
Yeah. Speaking of flare ups and
dude, you're killing the transition game.
Yeah, I would be if you didn't call it out every time. But speaking of flare-ups and bad decisions, a Florida man got tired of seeing all these AT&T trucks in front of his house. So naturally, what he does is proceeds to take out his gun and shoot out the tires. I want you to just let that sink in. The guy.
Go ahead and explain that. Explain that story again.
The guy. Okay, they're in Florida, right? There are these three. It looked from the video I saw. It looked like there was three AT&T trucks out in front of not just his house, but like the street, the neighborhood. I guess the guy got tired of seeing him out there, so what he does is takes his gun and make sure that the trucks don't move by shooting out the tires. Yeah. So pay attention, people, because if you want something to move off your property, the best way to handle it is destroy that thing's ability to move off of your property.
Yeah, just straight cut it all, like make it unable to move. That will make you much more happier.
So the man's name is Jorge Hove.
Hove?
Yes, unsure if he's related to V Hove or not, but he's 64 years old, and apparently he was a firefighter. So like, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, man, he was a firefighter." But damn, that asshole shot 18 rounds into tires on a public street in the middle of the day, and just so you're aware, he's shooting a gun that has a capacity for 6 bullets. So as they call it in the movies, a 6-shooter. So he had to reload that shit twice just to shoot out all the goddamn tires on the street in the AT&T truck.
Are you
sorry?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Before you interject, the entire time this is going on, the AT&T technician is filming him, not from like a hidden location, but straight up just like 10 feet away from him, filming him shooting his gun off into the tires and calling 911 at the same time, being like, "This man is shooting out my trucks." That is insane. And that is Florida. And that's where OJ is going to live.
Yes. Bring it full circle.
Yeah.
First off, people, I highly recommend watching this video tomorrow on your Friday work hour. Like, whenever you get time to just time steal, you should watch this video. The gun in question looks like the gun that RoboCop would pull out from his the side of his quad. The thing is like 24 inches long, pause, and it looks like it means business. And he shoots it from point blank range.
Yeah.
Into these tires.
So you know what that means? That means if he hits the rim and it ricochets, his leg is fucked.
Oh, it's curtains. And and he didn't look like the sharpest of shooters. Like, I think he was a little tired today. He was just like, he didn't have his best control. his changeup was a little bit out of control. He was serving up meatballs, but like he was all over the place. And the fact that the technician felt safe or felt comfortable enough to like film from down there just gives you a better understanding for like Florida is as close to lawlessness in America as that we have.
Oh, absolutely.
I haven't been to like too many other places in the country. I'm sure like South Dakota and like places with like too much space. There's pretty much like we not enforcing any rules. Like we have laws, but like, yo, you 75 miles away, dude. I ain't coming to like arrest you. Right? You live too far, man. It's just gonna be like, let's call it a day. Don't do it again. Whatever you just did, don't do it again.
Just over the phone.
Yeah. But like, Florida's just like mad gully that you don't care. Maybe it was like just hot that day, and the nigga was like, "Yo, I'm not having it today. I'm supposed to be driving out to go get a new air conditioner. Move your truck." And nobody moved. He said, "Fuck y'all."
But how does shooting the tires? that's the other thing. Like, what makes you think shooting the tires will move the trucks any faster?
Well, all rational, like you told me, like with the R. Kelly and you and your committee about like sexual predators, how y'all like control and power. Essentially, this like all rational thought went out the window. Clearly, right? Because now he's just like running on fumes, and he's like, "Fuck this." You know what? Fuck all y'all. I'm going to get my gun.
Get my gun. Oh, that's a great scene.
So yeah, shout out to Florida. I don't think I'm going down there anytime soon, and I love golf so much, and I know they've got great golf courses down there.
Yes, that they do, but also they have gators on their golf course.
Gators.
So. Gators.
Look, my name ain't Chubbs. They ain't biting me. Okay.
Yeah, that was. They wouldn't let me play on the tour. Oh, I'm sorry, because you're black. No, I didn't. I was gonna bit my hand off. Oh man. Speaking of more lighthearted news, this is so messed up. And if you haven't noticed the theme for this episode, it's Law and Order.
Yes.
This is PandaWatch Law and Order. We're trying to get a spinoff.
Yes, dude.
We're trying to get a spinoff. Speaking of Law and Order, we're going to the flip side. Instead of the criminals, we're going to focus on the police.
Oh, yeah.
The reason I say police, like The Wire, is this incident happened in Baltimore.
Murderland.
So I learned that body cams that police, let's be honest, should be wearing and should be recording at all times when they're on duty, obviously. So police, when they're on duty, in their armor, apparently body cams have a function similar to iPhones with their, the live photo thing, where it records like half a second before you take the photo. Apparently, when you turn on a body cam, it actually records 30 seconds beforehand. And I was reading some of the comments. Apparently, this is a common like tech feature that is like a short memory burst where it will capture like images 30 seconds before you hit the on button. And what happened was the video, there was no sound for the first 30 seconds because the camera was off. But what you see a Baltimore police officer putting drugs in an area behind like a dilapidated house, like planting the drugs there. He walks away, turns on the camera. Actually, you see his two partners like not along while he's planning the evidence. Turns on the camera, away from where he planted the drugs, and goes, "All right, well, let's search, see if he had any drugs on him." He goes back and just like finds them in a can of soup.
But does he get credit for finding the drugs?
Yeah.
Is it like a scavenger hunt?
I guess. I don't know.
But does he get credit for?
I can't hear you.
I'm not talking.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to the future and technology, because like 30 seconds, my man was free. And you know he was like, look, I'll turn this shit on after I plant these drugs.
Yeah, that to me is insane. Like, and it's funny because like it's not funny, but you hear the stories of of people saying, "Oh, the police always plant evidence. The police always plant drugs," and then you see it happen, and now it's just kind of like, holy shit! Now you have to take every fucking thing with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? Like, now we have to question everything because this jackass can't just do his job properly.
And I would just like to take this time out to introduce a new feature called the PandaWatch Meet the Curator Minute. We're obviously sponsored by Meet the Curator. This is something that the whole world needs to hear. It is 2017. It is July 20th, 21st?
20th right now. Oh, now that you mentioned July 21st, she ain't listening, but special shout out to April Aycock. His birthday July 21st.
Country girl, happy birthday. I was the only one of her friends to make it to her birthday party. Shout out to me.
Yes, she did tell me that. She said Kevin was my only original friend.
I was the only original friend. Yo, April got new friends, yo. It's over.
Yeah, I know, right?
Y'all better say goodbye to country girl. She's gone forever. But look, it's 2017, yo. Every fucking thing is being recorded. Everything is being filmed. Everything. So if you're masturbating in your house and you don't want nobody to know about it, you should stop masturbating. If you're shooting people and you don't want people to know about it, stop shooting people. If you're smuggling drugs and you don't want people to know about it, stop doing it. Everything is being filmed right now. Don't think that you are the only person in the fucking world where there's no cameras on you, yo. Especially you, police officer. Like, they say that some police officers are like dumb. And then some people are like, no, that's not true. And I'm like, I completely agree. That is a fucking generalization, and they tend to be wrong, or they tend to be right only in certain instances. My man, yo, this was dumb as fuck. Like, this was the dumbest shit you've ever done. And I know that there's the police department came out and said he was trying to reenact where he found the drugs. Well, he would be a terrible reenactor.
Right. Well, that was not a reenactment. There's no way, because when he goes and gets the drugs, he tries to call to the dude he's setting up and like, hey man, I found this. Like, that's not a reenactment. It's I don't know. Well, I guess we'll have to wait for all the facts to come out, because
that's dirty pull. That's what that is.
That's what people say when police officers are accused of shit. You have to wait for the facts to come out.
You have to wait for the facts, but you only have to wait for the facts if you're pro police and it don't look good for the police. If you're pro police and it looks good, then you're like, yeah. But then when it don't look good, like Philando Castile and countless others, then there's like dead silence by everybody. And you know when it's silent, you're like, damn, I'm fucked up. Because if you're right, then you're like me and you're talking big shit and you're loud and you don't care. And when they try to shut you up, you're like, nah, motherfucker, I told you I was right because I'm right.
Absolutely. And it's a funny thing when you say wait for all the facts, which is also code for let's dig up dirt on the victim.
Yeah. Yeah.
Either way, like, if there's going to be trust between police and the everyday citizen, shit like this cannot happen in 2017. Like, that is fucking ridiculous. Like, you have a body cam on you, and you think just because you hit, like, oh man, there's no way this thing is recording unless I hit the on button.
Like, nigga, this ain't OnStar. Gotcha, bitch. And they wonder why black people don't trust the police officers.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
You had it right. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
also ridiculous.
Yep.
There's a certain we haven't touched on sports yet. There is a certain sporting event coming up that pits guys from two different sports against each other. Floyd Mayweather.
That's it? Only two different sports?
They're two different sports.
Oh, that's the
So
only thing that's different about each other, about the two opponents in this thing?
well, I mean,
Steven.
at the base of it, yes. There's plenty other different things
Steven,
about them.
we've known each other for so long. You introduced me to this TV show. I never understood anything about it. And then I watched it and I said, these niggas is brilliant. The show in question is South Park.
Oh yes.
There's a scene where Cartman tries to instigate a fight between Token and who?
Stan.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Is Cartman like filming this with his camera? With his cell phone?
No. This was 2007, so no real camera phones.
Okay. Anyway, the fight's about to start. This fight is between Token, the black guy, and Stan, the white guy. And Cartman is just yelling, "Race war, race war, race war." Ladies and gentlemen, the 2017 sporting event between Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather is literally the race war that is going to ignite the big race war throughout this whole country.
But really, can it though? Because I mean, McGregor really stands no chance in a boxing match against Floyd.
He has no chance to win the fight. If it goes to a decision, it'd be embarrassing for Floyd Mayweather. But this is what's going to happen, right? There's going to be a decision in that fight. So the people who are in Las Vegas cheering for whatever they are, they're going to be on whatever team they are. And I'm going out on a limb that's saying that majority of the people rooting for Conor are going to be Irish and white, and the majority of people rooting for Floyd are going to be black and people of color. When that decision comes down in Las Vegas, I don't care if it's Floyd who wins. I don't care if it's Conor who wins. The other side is not going to take it the right way. They're going to be in each other's faces. They're going to be shoving, like being like mad asshole about it. Now, empathy is something that I think the whole world needs more of. There's not going to be any empathy because we're all jazzed up because we're at a fight. Motherfuckers are going to fight. The race war is going to start in Las Vegas on whatever date that is, Stephen. Mark my words.
Yeah, I just think decision. Conor just can't actually fight. He just can't box the way that Floyd can box. I mean, what Floyd is 49-0?
He's pound for pound the greatest defensive boxer of all time. So forget about the numbers. He's just a beast.
Yeah.
And you got knocked out by Nate Diaz in MMA where they're allowed to kick. So if you can't dodge a punch from an MMA fighter who is not the best, but shout out because he's represented by Arlington's finest, Lloyd Pearson. What makes you think you're going to duck Floyd Mayweather's hands? He don't have the strongest hands, but his hands are quick as hell.
Yeah, he was working the speed bag. And then they showed like Conor training, and it was like funny to like view them side by side.
Yeah.
And
there's no competition. The beauty of it is Conor doesn't care though.
Yeah.
Because Conor, no, he's going to get money, right? He's got money now, but this is going to be his single greatest paycheck ever. And it's probably going to be the peak of his money-making career because he won't be that big of a draw in MMA after he has this fight. And
oh no, absolutely.
And who in MMA is going to draw the kind of attention and interest that Floyd Mayweather has that he can fight? Like he would have to fight Ronda Rousey for it to be like a spectacle again.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right? So like this is the most that Conor McGregor is ever going to make in a fight. And it's all thanks to Mayweather. So when he gets beat, you're going to see him praise him, and he's going to have the biggest smile on his face. And if I know Conor, like I think I know him, like an arrogant, like motherfucker who doesn't care, who's just focused on the coins, he's going to be like, yeah, I lost the fight, but I made 25 mil or whatever the number he's going to make. He's going to be like, fuck y'all, and he's going to leave. And it's going to be great because income inequality is fucking real, and the motherfuckers are just here for the coins.